Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of seed starting, a little bit of sweet potato starting without Allison's help. So she can't say that I didn't do any of this. So what we have here are sweet potatoes. Now, normally a sweet potato doesn't have this coming out of it. Normally it looks like a normal sweet potato. But we've had these for a few months and they've started growing what's called slips. Now, usually what you would do is you would put these sweet potatoes in dirt to form roots to form the slips. But these have created slips on their own. This is our first year doing this, so this is the way that we are going to do this. I'm going to run two different ways and we're going to try to see which one works better. So these little slips right here are not very big. They're maybe, well, that one's barely a half an inch, that one's probably an inch, and that one's maybe an inch and a half. So those are what I would consider probably not very big enough to go in a jar of water. So what you want to do is these bigger ones like this, we're going to cut the bigger ones off and we're going to stick them in water. And what this is going to do is create roots. So I'm not sure if I should cut this or just try to pull this all the way out. I'm going to try just to pull it. Just kind of pinch and pull it off there. So this one has two, so I'm going to break it apart and see what happens. But now we're going to stick it in water and these will root. Now, I probably need to somehow get these to stay above water and not sink in the water. So let's do this one here. What I might do, my original idea, I was going to get a small cup and not these big mason jars, but I'm going to use this mason jar for something else. So I'm going to go get a plastic cup that's smaller that would work better for this. So that way, I don't want this guy falling clear in the water. I think you probably want them sticking out of the water. So I'm going to go get a small cup. Okay, I got a smaller cup here. We're going to pull these out of the water. This is what I was originally going to use. And then I grabbed the mason jar. Yeah, so that should be enough. I'm just going to kind of prop him up against these other ones. Okay, so like this one right here, I would consider that one probably long enough to try to start. Some of these other ones, I'm not honestly sure. I mean, they're not very tall. They're actually going to get sinking in the water. So we're just going to wait on that. This looks like one that maybe dried up, so we're just going to pull that one off. But now the next step, what we're going to do is we have pre-moistened soil. And so we're just going to kind of bury this guy a little bit halfway in the soil and see if we can't get the whole sweet potato to grow roots. And then it should make slips faster. And what we want to do is we just want to, this was pre-moistened soil, so we want to just add a little bit of water just around the sweet potato. So this one I already did earlier. We'll do it again. Now, this is one way that you can do it. Or the way that I'm going to experiment, and the reason why I grabbed these mason jars. So these right here, some of these might be long enough, like this guy probably is long enough. that we're going to pull him off. I think we'll let these go, maybe. I think it should be fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this guy in water, and then we're going to stick toothpicks in it. And we're going to let it root this way. And we're going to do a side-by-side comparison. If you guys know me, I like experiments. We've done a lot of different experimental things for this garden stuff. Okay, so now we're going to let this one sit in water and grow roots. So both these right here should grow roots in the water. These right here are going to grow roots in the dirt. And then we will take the slips from each one of these and put them in more water to root them. Once we do that, then you can put them in actual containers, each little individual slip that roots out. You can put them in containers, and that will be your sweet potato plant. That's just the way you do sweet potatoes. We tried last year. We knew that sweet potatoes are different than potatoes. We didn't fully do a lot of research on it. And what we tried to do is just stick a whole sweet potato in the ground, and that did not work. If you research it, you'll know that that's not gonna work. So that's why we're doing it this way this year. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to multi-sow onions. So we have pre-moistened 4 containers here, and what we're going to do is we're going to dump about 10 seeds maybe in each of these little cells, and we're going to try to grow them in these, and then we will separate them and put them out in the garden when it's time. So now the reason why you would do this is because with onions, they're kind of a smaller, little grassy looking plant, so you can multi-sow them. Instead of using one full tray, like we did, we used a 72 cell tray on onions. We're also going to try this. See how this works. If this works better, eventually we could just fill a whole tray full of dirt, start them, and try that. So what we're going to do is dump these out. And I did not bring the marker nor the marking sticks, so I'm going to set the packages there so that way I know which is which. And we drop probably 10-ish seeds in there, and then what we're going to do is take some soil and put some soil over the top. And then we will bottom water these also. That's why they're in this tray here. So we'll bottom water them and keep them watered. And that's the thing on these sweet potatoes also. You want to keep the sweet potatoes, this one, you want to keep it in water. You want to keep water in that. You want to make sure that that stays moist, so that way your stuff still grows. They got to grow in the water or with water. Okay, so we got some soil on top of that one. So now we're going to do these bunching onions. And we have a bunch of seeds from all these packs. That's why one reason why we're experimenting with this. This pack has 250 seeds, and this is a brand new one that has 250 seeds. So that's why we're experimenting. We have the seeds. We might as well try it. I'm not trying to be wasteful with the seeds. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I want to see if this works. So these were the bunching. So now we're going to put a little bit of soil on top of this. Probably blocked your guys' camera view. Okay, now we have a lot of red burgundy, so we'll just do these last two as this. These seeds are very little, so we're just gonna kind of divide up between the two. I feel like that's probably plenty for that little deal. So now we'll just cover these with soil. And we will put these under the grow light also. All this stuff will go in the seed starting room under the grow lights. And we will make sure that these stay watered daily. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit or enjoyed watching the process. This is all very new to us. We are what I would still consider beginners. And so we like to experiment with some different things and see how different things work. Because, you know, what we may do, somebody else may do a little bit differently. And if it all works, then, you know, why does it matter that it was different? As long as it works, that's all that matters. This bottle that we have here is actually for the Blackstone, but it makes a good little watering deal because it doesn't dump out a lot of water, so that is good. So there is our onions multi-sowed and our sweet potatoes. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, it really helps us out. We are getting closer and closer to 800 subscribers. Also, what I want to say is we are in the middle of February. So we still have at least a good 2, if not 2.5 months before this stuff goes out to the garden. So subscribe so you can follow along with the journey because we still do have a while. We have another whole round of seeds that need started. We'll have to transplant some seeds into bigger containers and stuff like that. So guys, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.